Hello to you, my tribe. Welcome to my channel, Auntie Essie's Chat Cafe. Auntie Essie here, bringing you another Spirit-filled Sunday. Happy Spirit-filled Sunday to you. And tribe, how is the Spirit stirring in you or moving in you this day? In what way is the Spirit calling you this day? And how are you feeling, moving, or stirring the Spirit this day? And in what ways are you calling Spirit this day? Well, for our Spirit-filled Sunday this week, I was thinking of doing something different, but I changed my mind. I will stick to just finding a reading to guide our week. But before I pull a card, I just thought it's on everyone's heart, no matter which part of the world you live in. I'm talking about this past few months, few weeks, and the result culminating on Tuesday night in America. I'm talking about the American elections. I know many people are heartbroken, disheartened, disappointed, angry, frustrated, and many people are joyful, happy, and seeing all the glorious things that are going to happen with their lives. In all things, I say, let's pray and hope for the best for each and every one. Not just the Americans or people who live in America, but for the whole world. Because no man and no nation is an island, even if you are an island nation. Because we are all so interconnected. Look at us here on YouTube. We are connected no matter which part of the world we are. So, in light of that, I think it's essential that we stay connected, that we keep having conversations with one another, even when we disagree with one another. Because we all ultimately want to make this place a better place for us. This world, we want to create a better place, to leave it better than we found it, to make it better for ourselves and the generations to follow us. So, for our Spirit-filled Sunday, I decided to choose another card from 52 Ways to Make a Difference by Lynn Gordon, because her cards are about ways to make a difference in our own personal lives and the lives of our community. So that's why I'm choosing this card today, and I really like these little cards. So and the card I pull is Speak Up. Speak up. Yes, tribe, speak up. So it says, next time you witness an injustice, read something that infuriates you, or experience something firsthand that makes you want to say a thing or two, say it. Instead of holding it in or just complaining about it afterward, speak up in the moment. There are lots of ways to confront injustices directly and skillfully without escalating into conflict. Take a deep breath and remember that everybody is doing the best they can, and that you can hate actions and behavior without hating the person doing it. Speak up from your own heart and experience. Ask questions and listen. Or if the outrage is at someone you're unlikely to talk with directly, like a president or an editor, for instance, write a letter directly to them. Let me read that again. Next time you witness an injustice, read something that infuriates you, or experience something firsthand that makes you want to say a thing or two, say it instead of holding it in or just complaining about it afterward. Speak up in the moment. There are lots of ways to confront injustices directly and skillfully without escalating into conflict. Take a deep breath and remember that everybody is doing the best they can, and that you can hate actions and behavior without hating the person doing it. Speak from your own heart and experience. Ask questions and listen. Or if the average is as someone you're unlikely to talk with directly, like a president or an editor, for instance, write a letter directly to them. So, tribe, that's it. Speak up. So, what injustices? Now, this is my question to you this week to think about. What injustices have you witnessed or experienced that you were able to calmly speak up about? Calmly, directly address in that moment or in the moment of occurrence. So, are you able to be calm and speak directly to an injustice, or do you find it challenging like I do sometimes? Do you get so frustrated, so overwhelmed and angry by the injustice that you are unable to speak to it? But we are being called, and I can see it. I know in my own life, in the moments that I calmly spoke up about an injustice or what I call malcontent action or behavior that's directed towards me, that I speak up about immediately. And especially if I'm calm and I speak up and I am willing to listen to the offender, I find it that it's usually a teachable moment or a learning moment for both. And that goes a long way to resolving whatever the issue is. So my question to you is, are you able to speak up directly, calmly, yet avoiding conflict? Or do you get so frustrated and so angry that you just keep it all in, and then you're complaining about it later, and then the feelings fester and you become unable to address the issue calmly? And the other part of this that I find interesting, that I think is essential, and when we're talking about Spirit-filled Sunday, I think Spirit is calling us, I know that is what Spirit is calling for us to do, is addressing the behavior or the action rather than combining the behavior and the action with the person. Means we become judgmental of the person. Are you one of those people who is automatically able to separate the behaviors and actions from the person and see the person in divine light, seeing them as we are all children of Spirit? The same Spirit created all of us. The same Spirit flows through all things and flows through all of us. So when one of us act in a way that's unbecoming, as my mother would say, do you see them as the unbecoming action or behavior, or do you just see the behavior and still hold them to the light of Spirit? So that is my question. So question number one, are you able to address injustice calmly in a non-confrontational way that doesn't create a bigger conflict? Are you able to discern the action, the injustice, the injustice from the person doing the injustice. And how do you normally address injustices? Do you write letters directly? Would you write a letter directly to a president, let's say, whose actions that you find abhorrent, that you find unjust, without judging that president, the person component of the president? So that is my charge to you, my tribe, this week. So when you witness an injustice, address it immediately, but yet in a calm manner, to avoid conflict, or to avoid creating a bigger conflict. And if you've addressed it, what were the results? Were you satisfied with the results? Secondly, are you able to see the conflict, see the injustice actions and behaviors, and separate them from the person or the persons doing the injustice? Are you able to only see the injustice, not the person blended within the injustice? And thirdly, how do you address it? Address an injustice or an abhorrent behavior from someone who you're not able to interact with directly. Are you, instead of writing a letter, do you take to modern day social media? Or have you actually ever sat down and written a letter to, let's say, a letter to the editor and a letter to a president, either of a company or a country for that matter? So that is the question, and that is the discussion for this week. I love to hear from you. Let's get the discussion going here. So let all your discussions, get them started in the comment section, and so those are 3 things. Are you able to address an injustice or an unjust behavior or action immediately, yet in a calm manner that removes or take away the conflict component of it? Are you able, number 2, are you able to just see the unjust actions and behaviors separate from the person doing the behaviors or the actions? Number 3, how do you address it? Have you written a letter? Do you write letters? For example, writing a letter to the editor or writing a letter to the offending person. So I truly would love to hear from you. And on that note, I'm going to read this actually 2 more times and leave you with that. Next time you witness an injustice, read something that infuriates you, or experience something firsthand that makes you want to say a thing or 2, say it. Instead of holding it in or just complaining about it afterward, speak up in the moment. There are lots of ways to confront injustices directly and skillfully without escalating into conflict. Take a deep breath and remember that everybody is doing the best they can, and you can hate actions and behavior without hating the person doing it. Speak from your own heart and experience. Ask questions and listen. Or if the outrage is at someone you are unlikely to talk with directly, like a president or an editor, for instance, write a letter directly to them. So I'll read that one more time. Next time you witness an injustice, read something that infuriates you, or experience something firsthand that makes you want to say a thing or 2, say it. Instead of holding it in or just complaining about it afterward, speak up in the moment. There are lots of ways to confront injustices directly and skillfully without escalating into conflict. Take a deep breath and remember that everybody is doing the best they can, and that you can hate actions and behavior without hating the person doing it. Speak from your own heart and experience. Ask questions and listen. Or if the outrage is at someone you're unlikely to talk with directly, like a president or an editor, for instance, write a letter directly to them. So, my tribe, that is our Spirit-filled Sunday. And remember, speak up. This is Auntie saying, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, press that subscribe button and share this video with all your friends. Give it a thumbs up. And goodbye for now. Stay blessed.